topic is traumatic occupational injuries based on data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC. The information available discusses the overall prevalence and types of traumatic injuries occurring in the workplace. However, the provided CDC fact sheet does not include specific details about the number of individuals who were working alone, without supervision, or lacking experience at the time they sustained their injuries. To find information about worker supervision and its relation to injuries, we must examine other resources from the OSH, the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. These types of sources often contain data on factors contributing to workplace accidents, including training levels, supervision practices, and adherence to safety protocols. Examining the broader context of workplace safety involves several key areas. Firstly, hazard identification is crucial. This includes recognizing potential dangers in the work environment. For example, machinery without proper guarding, slippery floors, or exposure to hazardous substances are all potential hazards. Secondly, risk assessment is required. Once hazards are identified, the likelihood and severity of potential injuries need to be evaluated. This helps prioritize which hazards need immediate attention. Thirdly, control measures must be implemented. This involves taking steps to eliminate or minimize risks. Examples include providing safety training, implementing engineering controls like machine guards, and requiring personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as gloves, safety glasses, and respirators. Fourthly, training and education are vital. Workers need to be adequately trained on how to perform their jobs safely, including how to use equipment properly and how to recognize and avoid hazards. Fifthly, supervision is an important component of safety. Supervisors play a crucial role in ensuring that workers follow safety procedures and the hazards are promptly addressed. Adequate supervision can help prevent accidents and injuries. Sixthly, regular inspections are important. Workplaces should be regularly inspected to identify and correct hazards. This can help prevent accidents before they occur. Seventhly, incident reporting and investigation are crucial. When accidents do occur, they should be promptly reported and investigated to determine the root causes. This helps prevent similar accidents from happening in the future. Eighthly, emergency preparedness is vital. Workplaces should have emergency plans in place to address potential emergencies such as fires, chemical spills, or medical emergencies. Ninthly, health and safety programs should be implemented. Employers should have comprehensive health and safety programs in place to promote a safe and healthy work environment. These programs should include policies, procedures, and training. Tenthly, worker involvement is essential. Workers should be actively involved in identifying and addressing safety concerns. This can help create a culture of safety in the workplace. Let's look at some of the specific types of traumatic occupational injuries that are commonly reported. One common type is falls. Falls can occur from heights, such as ladders or scaffolding, or on the same level, such as tripping on a slippery floor. Another type is struck by injuries. These occur when a worker is struck by an object, such as falling tools or equipment. A third type is caught in or between injuries. These occur when a worker is caught in or between machinery or equipment. A fourth type is electrocutions. Electrocutions can occur when a worker comes into contact with electrical wires or equipment. A fifth type is burns. Burns can occur from contact with hot surfaces, chemicals, or electricity. A sixth type is cuts and lacerations. These can occur from sharp objects such as knives, saws, or machinery. A seventh type is sprains and strains. These can occur from lifting heavy objects, repetitive motions, or awkward postures. Workplace safety regulations are designed to protect workers from these types of injuries. OSHA is the primary federal agency responsible for enforcing workplace safety regulations. OSHA sets standards for a wide range of workplace hazards, and it conducts inspections to ensure that employers are complying with these standards. In addition to OSHA, many states also have their own workplace safety agencies. These agencies may have additional regulations that are more stringent than federal regulations. Employers have a legal and ethical responsibility to provide a safe and healthy work environment for their employees. This includes identifying and controlling hazards, providing training and education, and enforcing safety procedures. Workers also have a responsibility to follow safety procedures and to report any hazards to their supervisors. Working alone can increase the risk of injury for several reasons. If a worker is injured while working alone, there may be no one to provide immediate assistance. This can delay treatment and increase the severity of the injury. Secondly, workers who are working alone may be more likely to take risks, as there is no one to observe their behavior. Thirdly, workers who are working alone may be less likely to have access to the tools and equipment they need to perform their jobs safely. A lack of experience can also increase the risk of injury. Inexperienced workers may not be aware of the hazards associated with their jobs, and they may not know how to perform their job safely. Inexperienced workers may also be less likely to speak up if they have safety concerns. Providing adequate supervision and training is essential for protecting workers from injuries. Supervisors should be trained to identify hazards, to enforce safety procedures, and to provide guidance to workers. Workers should be trained on how to perform their job safely, including how to use equipment properly and how to recognize and avoid hazards. There are a number of resources available to help employers improve workplace safety. OSHA offers a variety of training programs and resources. NIOSH conducts research on workplace safety and health, and it provides recommendations for preventing injuries and illnesses. Many insurance companies also offer workplace safety services. A proactive approach to safety is essential for creating a safe and healthy work environment. This includes identifying and controlling hazards, providing training and education, enforcing safety procedures, and encouraging worker involvement. By taking these steps, employees can help protect their workers from injuries and illnesses. It's important to remember that workplace safety is a shared responsibility. Employers, supervisors, and workers all have a role to play in creating a safe and healthy work environment. By working together, we can prevent injuries and illnesses and ensure that everyone goes home safe at the end of the day. The CDC and NIOSH websites offer a wealth of information on specific types of traumatic injuries, industry-specific hazards, and best practices for prevention. Consulting these resources can provide more detailed guidance for addressing workplace safety concerns. Understanding the data related to occupational injuries often requires delving into specific industry codes and classifications. The North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS, is a standard used for classifying business establishments for the purpose of collecting, analyzing, and publishing statistical data related to the U.S. business economy. Using NAICS codes, researchers and safety professionals can identify industries with higher rates of traumatic injuries and tailor interventions accordingly. Another important data source is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or BLS. The BLS collects and publishes data on occupational injuries, illnesses, and fatalities. This data can be used to track trends in workplace safety and to identify emerging hazards. In addition to statistical data, qualitative information can also be valuable in understanding the causes of traumatic injuries. This includes conducting interviews with workers and supervisors, observing work practices, and reviewing incident reports. Analyzing this qualitative data can help identify underlying factors that contribute to accidents, such as inadequate training, poor communication, or a lack of safety culture. Implementing effective safety interventions often requires a multifaceted approach. This may include engineering controls such as machine guarding, administrative controls such as safe work procedures, and personal protective equipment, or PPE. The specific interventions that are most effective will vary depending on the specific hazards and work environment. It is also important to regularly evaluate the effectiveness of safety interventions. This can be done by tracking injury rates, conducting safety audits, and soliciting feedback from workers. If an intervention is not effective, it should be revised or replaced. Creating a strong safety culture is essential for preventing traumatic injuries. A safety culture is a shared set of values, beliefs, and attitudes about safety that are held by everyone in the organization. In a strong safety culture, safety is a top priority, and everyone is committed to preventing injuries and illnesses. Building a strong safety culture requires leadership commitment, worker involvement, and open communication. Leaders must demonstrate a commitment to safety by allocating resources to safety programs and by actively participating in safety activities. Workers must be empowered to identify and report hazards, and they must be involved in the development and implementation of safety programs. Open communication is essential for sharing information about hazards and for discussing safety concerns. The legal landscape surrounding workplace safety is complex and constantly evolving. Employers must be aware of the applicable federal, state, and local regulations, and they must ensure that they are in compliance with these regulations. Failure to comply with workplace safety regulations can result in fines, penalties, and even criminal charges. In addition to legal requirements, there are also ethical considerations related to workplace safety. Employers have a moral obligation to protect their workers from harm. This includes providing a safe and healthy work environment, even if it means going above and beyond what is required by law. Investing in workplace safety is not just the right thing to do, it is also good for business. A safe and healthy workforce is more productive, more engaged, and less likely to experience costly injuries and illnesses. By prioritizing workplace safety, employers can improve their bottom line and create a more sustainable business.